Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our First NBC Bank Weekend Review, brought to you by First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. Super Bowl 51. Wow. The most memorable, certainly most notable Super Bowl in the history of the Super Bowl. Some would say the best game. Some would say maybe not the best game, but the most improbable and the most exciting ending. Of course, that also depends on who you're pulling for. Saints fans have to be smiling today. Saints fans are not Patriots fans, but you know how they feel about the Falcons. What a finish, what a game, and the takeaway more than anything else is give the Patriots credit. They did it. I know a lot of people are saying Atlanta lost it, but the Patriots won the game, and Tom Brady and Bill Belichick cemented themselves as the very best in the history of the league at what they do.
I'll point back to one thing. Remember the last time the Saints played the Patriots in Foxborough back in 2013? Saints went into the game, I believe, undefeated. Could not get a first down or could not move the ball like 3 times late in the fourth quarter, kept giving the ball back to the Patriots, and finally Brady went down the length of the field with no timeouts to win the game late. Same kind of thing we saw yesterday. You give him a chance, and he's going to take advantage of it. You give him enough chances, he's certainly going to take advantage of it. And that's really, like you said, what Atlanta did. You know, there were some questionable decisions on their part that New England might not have even gotten a chance, or had they gotten a chance, they would have been so handcuffed with no timeouts and less time on the clock that, you know, they may not have been able to do anything with it. And really, when they got the ball for the last time, you know, Atlanta should have been in position to kick a field goal and turn it into a 2-score game, which would have made it highly unlikely that Brady could have pulled something out in that situation. So I see it on both sides. Like you said, give New England credit. They got the opportunity and they took advantage of it. But boy, if you're a Falcons fan, you got to be shaking your head right now.
Well, we always talk about it, but coaches have to put their players in the best position to succeed. And Atlanta Falcons fans will talk for years about the play calling in the fourth quarter, as well they should. Not just on one drive, but on consecutive drives, because keep in mind they still had a 16-point lead when they forced the Patriots to kick a field goal to make it 28-12, and Atlanta runs 2 running plays and has a 3rd and 1 at their own, 35, 36-yard line. Instead of running the football, which they've done extremely well, they decided to try to throw the ball. Matt Ryan gets sacked by Dante Hightower. Branch recovers, and that changed the game completely. Still, they're up 28-20, and, of course, you have the 2 big pass plays, one to Devontae Freeman, one to Julio Jones, a phenomenal play, and they're in field goal range right away. They run the ball on first down to the 22-yard line. It's a 39-yard field goal from there, and check out the stats. Matt Ryan missed 1 field goal between 30 and 50 yards all season long. He's going to make it indoors. Instead, they tried to throw. They get sacked. Then they throw again, and they have a holding penalty, and the rest is history. They punt the ball, Patriots come back, win the game.
And the other thing besides that is just some of the play calls that were made in there that led plays to go out of bounds to stop the clock in those couple of drives. There were a couple of situations in there where you would have kept the clock running. At that point, the clock is your friend. You got to do everything you can to keep it moving where the situation presents itself, force New England to use their timeouts, and Atlanta simply didn't do it.
As good as Atlanta's offense is and was in this game, you had a pick six, and you had a fumble that led to a touchdown. So the Patriots defense really held up pretty well, even though they didn't have to play a whole lot of snaps.
No, they didn't. That was the amazing number in this game, is Atlanta's defense was on the field for 94 snaps, and I think the offense was on the field for 47 snaps. I think it was exactly twice the difference there. So it's just, and the other thing, you brought up the pick six, Robert Alford from Southeastern and from Hammond High. Debo Jones played a great game as well from Jesuit and from LSU. But one of the interesting things, and it came out right away as soon as the Alford pick six, no team has ever lost a game in the Super Bowl with a pick six until Sunday.
Of course, no team had ever lost down by more than 10 points in a Super Bowl. A lot of nevers that apply, but then again, you were facing Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, so you should have known better when you tweeted out, get used to it, Saints fans, the Falcons are going to be champions, which I did in the third quarter. So that's on me, but, of course, I had a lot of company.
And you're sure you deleted it, right?
No, not at all.
Alternative facts.
Alternative facts. No, it's there. It's record. It's okay. It's good. I wasn't alone, and that's fine. So, again, congratulations to the Patriots who win the Super Bowl, and now move forward and see what happens where the New Orleans Saints are concerned in the offseason and what they're going to do. They still have a staff position to fill. And then, of course, you got the combine and you got free agency coming up. You've got some opportunities to take a look at your payroll and see where you can make some moves because they're still leading the league in dead money.
You are leading the league in dead money, and obviously that part is not going away. Could they take on some more dead money by making some moves? Perhaps. But like you said, the difference in this year and last year is last year basically having to make moves to get to the cap before the start of the new league year. Right now they're at about $30 million under. So they've got the ability to go make some moves, and they don't have to do some of the crazy contracts to backload them to be able to get guys in. You can do a more conventional contract if you want to go out and sign some free agent pieces to try to support what you're going to do in the draft.
Here's the interesting dilemma I see with the Saints. They have done what they needed to do. They tore apart their structure from where they were with an aging team, and they've gotten younger over the last 3 years. And when you get younger, it's painstaking. You're starting over again. They're getting close to being able to contend with a younger nucleus. But I think it's a one-year window, Lenny. I think it's a one-year window for Drew Brees, whose contract will be up, and for Sean Payton, even though he has a long-term contract, because he's got to win based upon his record most recently and the fact that, he's been flirting with other opportunities. So I think it's a one-year window. So do they go for it now and try to make some moves or stick with their building process of young players?
I think you got to do both. I think you've got to be able to find the spots where if you find somebody that fits a need, and look, this, as we know, the one thing about the NFL that's guaranteed from year to year, it's a copycat league. Okay, you're going to see some of the things the Patriots and the Falcons did and did well, and you're going to see teams try to do that for next year. And I think one of the things, ironically enough, is probably the weakest unit, at least statistically, that was on the field yesterday was the Falcons defense. But I think you could see some things that Atlanta did with getting some of those linebackers that can run sideline to sideline, like a Debo Jones, who can really, really run, and find a way to get those guys in a draft or in free agency to help increase your team speed.
Turning to basketball, the New Orleans Pelicans, well, they went 0 for 3 on the road. No surprise, they're a bad road team. They're a bad team. They're home against another team that's not good, Phoenix. So, again, back home, and, we just keep playing the same tune. They're still in contention for what it's worth for that 8th spot, but I don't know about you, but I'm kind of tired of talking about that.
It's getting frustrating. And look, this is a key week, I think, as you head towards the All-Star break, you look at what's coming up. You've got Phoenix, Utah is going to be a very tough game to win at home. But then you go to Minnesota and you go to Sacramento. So that's 3 winnable games in the Western Conference. If you talk about Phoenix, Minnesota, Sacramento this week, obviously with teams that are flirting around the same area you are, those are must-win games in my mind.
And the Timberwolves just lost Zach LaVine for the year, which is a big loss for them.
Yeah, so that just makes it even a bigger opportunity because they were starting to play out. Look, what we've seen with those teams anywhere from the 8 to 12 spot, and of course the Pelicans sitting in 12th in the West right now, they get their spurts where they play well, 3 or 4 games at a time, but no one's doing it consistently, and that's why they're sitting that far down in the standings.
College basketball, Tulane and LSU just continue to lose. We had a good game for you on WHNO over the weekend as well. UNO back in a tie for first in the Southland Conference off of a home win over Nicholls State on homecoming.
Yeah, terrific atmosphere and a good win for Mark Schlesinger's team to get back to a tie for first. If you missed the game, by the way, you can watch it one more time Monday at 4 on WHNO, which will lead right into SportsNOLA TV.
Yeah, I look forward to that. And then high school basketball, of course, the season winding down in the second round in many cases, first round in other cases, but still toward the end of the regular season. And we have a good game coming up on SportsNOLA.com later this week.
Yep, North Shore against South Shore, some real talent, a chance to see arguably the best player in the area in Chalmette's Mitchell Robinson, the Western Kentucky signee, who's one of the top 10 prospects in the nation, 5 stars by a number of the recruiting services. Chalmette St. Paul's from the parish, Wednesday at 7, SportsNOLA.com. Check it out.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And, of course, check out Monday night. We'll have all the wrestling pairings up for the state championships coming up this coming weekend in Bossier City, which we'll have full coverage of, too. Lenny, have a great week.
We'll see you later this week.
That's our First NBC Bank Weekend Review, brought to you by First NBC Bank, a proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. He's Lenny. I'm Kenny. Have a great week, and God bless you.